data centers. And I don't think people understand what's going on here. Like, we're looking at hundreds of billions of dollars of investment going into building these data centers. Meta is building a data center the size of Manhattan in the middle of Louisiana right now. It's called Hyperion. You guys can look it up. There's an estimate that by 2030, there's going to be $6 to $7 trillion invested in these data centers. So here's where it gets interesting, Jason. Where's a good place to park some cash? Where's a good place to get active in the stock market? Where are the opportunities going to be when these companies are spending trillions of dollars in data centers? Where's the money? Where should I be putting my cash?
Yeah, you brought up an interesting point, right? Trillions and billions of dollars going into these data centers. And I was just talking to some of my members last night about this. I said, I know everyone's not a stock investor. It's a big AI channel. So I want to just make it plain and simple. I want people to think about the gold rush. There were people that rushed to California to mine for gold, right? Everybody's excited about the gold rush. But some people said, wait, these people are going to need a place to sleep. So some people rushed and started building houses. Somebody's like, they're working all day. These people are going to need water. So some people set up water bottle shops and water containers. Somebody's like, these people got to eat. Somebody opened up a restaurant, right? Somebody's like, they need picks, shovels, axes, wheelbarrows. Maybe Home Depot was created, right? So think gold rush. It's not just about the thing. It's about all the things around it that are going to be needed to support this rush. And that's what's happening with AI and what's happening with data centers. You think like, wow, they're building this data center. True. Somebody's has to be inking these corporate real estate deals. That could be a place to look in real estate. Once they get the building, they need chips inside that building, right? Semiconductors. So I want you thinking AMD. I want you thinking NVIDIA. I want you thinking Broadcom. That is a place to go and consider parking or investing some cash, because everyone needs chips for all this data and all this information that we're processing. What are they made out of? They're made out of copper, gold. If you look at gold, gold has been on a tear. Gold is used as some of the material in these semiconductors and some of the material for these large lines that they're going to lay to transfer the data. You can look at gold. You can look at the cloud infrastructure. So you're talking about AWS, Amazon Web Service, Microsoft Azure. You're looking at Oracle Cloud Services. One of the big things that most people might be missing out on is all this new data is being put into the cloud on these servers. What's one of the biggest concerns that companies and consumers should have? It's going to be cybersecurity. So you can start to look at companies like CrowdStrike. That's a company to pay attention to, because cybersecurity is going to continue to increase, because now we got all these apps accessing your information. Then companies are using it on their phones, their laptops. They got to protect their consumers and their employees. So those are just some of the boomerang effects of AI come into play in different places that you can look to potentially park some cash. And then, kind of like we just talked about as well, those are sectors that you could look at. Maybe I should be getting a job or learning how to implement some of this stuff, or be going back to school to become an engineer, or maybe I can become a prompt engineer, as they call it now, with using AI. So it creates equal opportunity both for jobs. If a person's like, I'm not into investing, that's fine. You're investing at some point, you're investing in yourself. But if you're also into making your money work for you, think gold rush and think about all the other things that have to get a piece of the pie for this to come to fruition.
That's a great point. During the gold rush, the people selling the shovels made the most money, right?
Exactly. Shovels, water bottles, food, hotels probably popped up. What about their family coming in to visit them? Like, all of this stuff starts to create these micro economies that create opportunity.
Yeah, I like the way you're thinking. I'm kind of preaching the same thing over here. And by the way, thanks for just dropping about 12 different companies we can be looking at, guys. Do me a favor, guys. Go over to thebrownreport.com. Jason's got a few free downloads there that are going to get you off and started, and kind of breaking down this wisdom and this system that Jason leveraged to build up an income that is quite sizable. So go to thebrownreport.com.